In this video, I'm going to show you how to negotiate higher prices for you and your band so that you never have to feel underpaid or underappreciated again. Hey, what's up, and welcome to Music Space, where we help working musicians just like you learn how to quickly and easily make a living with your craft. So if you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any content that's uploaded. So if you've been a part of this channel for any period of time, you know one of the main themes here is not settling for less money than you deserve as a musician. One of the most controversial videos that I put out was a video called 5 Reasons Why You Should Stop Doing Gigs for $100. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link a card to it above. But it got a lot of people talking and a lot of people asking questions. And one of the biggest questions that came from it was questions like, okay, Terrence, I hear you, I'm with you. I don't want to do gigs for $100 anymore, but how do I get clubs and restaurants and venues to pay me and my band higher prices? And I feel you, it can be difficult to get venues and such to pay higher prices, especially when there's other bands that will do it for cheaper. So one of the things that you really have to understand is that you are a business. You are no longer just a band or an artist, and you have to act as such if you want to get paid higher prices. That dynamic of you just getting a call for a gig and showing up and playing and getting your check has to morph and change into a sort of you provide a service and you're a commodity sort of relationship with the people who hire you. This is the key thing that separates you from other artists and other bands who are just doing gigs here and there. So with that said, here are 5 strategies to use to negotiate higher prices when you're getting hired at venues. Now, right before we jump in, I want to let you know that I'm giving away 4 of my most used music business contracts for free. Now, these contracts can be used for booking high-paying clients for music production, gigs, and other music work. And they include a bid sheet, which you can send to prospects when they ask you that question of how much do you charge? And it includes an artist writer sheet, which you can give to clients to let them know everything you will need for your live performances. And again, these contracts are completely free, and you can find the link to them in the description of this video. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is determine the needs and the goals of the venue that you're playing for. And what I mean by this is you have to ask questions like, what are the needs of this particular venue? What is it that the owner is looking for as far as the entertainment? One of the things that you can do is actually visit that venue on one of the busy nights and assess some of the things that are going on. See where you can fit in and where you can, sort of make some changes and fill in holes as far as the entertainment is concerned. Basically, what you're doing is looking for areas to solve issues and problems that they don't even know that they have. And once you've determined some of those issues and problems, you provide solutions to those issues and problems in your negotiations. So for example, one of the things that I do all the time that works really well is offer to take videos and pictures for the venue's social media platforms. And this is really cool because you don't need a fancy camera or anything. Like, you can use all of those videos and pictures that you're taking on your cell phone and stuff anyway while you're playing, while you have your phone set up on stage and recording. You can use those videos and pictures for their social media platforms. You can post them with tags that say, hey, visit here, hey, Friday nights at such and such place. That gives them publicity. See, that's a service that you're offering them in addition to being their entertainment. And the good part about it is you can be as creative as you want. You can take some shots and videos of like the crowd reactions and the bar people drinking and stuff like that and having fun and create this image to post to their social media. And now guess what? You're no longer the average band that just shows up to play. You're a band that provides entertainment along with extra services that don't require you to really do anything that you wouldn't do normally anyway. And guess what else? Now you have all of these videos and pictures for your own portfolio. So now when somebody calls you to say, hey, we want to hire you, but we want to see you play first, now you have video and stuff to send them. All right, so the next thing you want to do is determine your unique selling proposition. Now, what this means is you want to determine what it is that you offer that makes you worth the price that you're asking for. You want to determine how, where, and why, and to what degree you differ from other bands that could get hired for the same job. What is the one key thing that makes you different from other bands? And when you've made this determination, you want to be able to say it. You want to be able to speak your unique selling proposition in about 25 words or less, and you want to bring it to the table in your negotiations for higher prices. Now, another thing you want to do is negotiate packages and provisions and not just money. Now, this is one of the main strategies I listed in a prior video about how to ask for a raise, but it's a really key strategy in your negotiations because some of the time it may just be impossible for you to get extra money. The venue may not have it, or they just may not be willing to pay it, but they may be willing to, negotiate other provisions. Like one of the things you can negotiate is future gigs or residencies. So you may be willing to accept a lower price, at least temporarily, if they agree to something like giving you 3 or 4 gigs there, every Friday for the month of June or July or whatever the case may be. Or even something like a residency where you play there for, 3 months straight every Friday night at 8 o'clock. You can also negotiate things like food and drinks. If they agree to something like letting you order, 1 meal per person in your band off the menu and, a drink here and there, that may be something to consider in the negotiations as well. And one of the things I like to negotiate is lesser hours. So for example, if the standard gig is from 8 to 12 on a Friday night, what I'll do is negotiate that time down and say, hey, I'll play from 10 to 12 or from 9:30 to 12 with so many breaks and things like that. But I can negotiate that time down so that I'm doing less for maybe making the same amount of money. And you can even negotiate things like longer break times. If, you play at a spot and their break times are only 10 or 15 minutes, you can negotiate those times upwards of 30 minutes. Okay, so another strategy is you have to be professional. Now, I know this sounds obvious and sort of redundant, but you'd be surprised how many bands and artists are just simply not professional. The thing is, us artists and bands have a lot of negative stereotypes out there about us where, we tear up hotel rooms and all sort of other negative stereotypes. But the thing is, you're working against this when you're negotiating. So you have to be professional to sort of get those ideas out of the minds of the people that are hiring you. So you want to do things like show up on time and start on time and, sort of obey the rules of whatever that venue is that, you're playing at. And don't get drunk and tipsy and things like that on gigs. And, I know it's fun and it's cool and it's okay to have some drinks and stuff here and there. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying maintain an air of professionalism about what it is that you do. That way that places you in a position to where you can negotiate higher prices. And you want to dress the part as well. I mean, I know the whole dress for success philosophy is sort of antiquated a little bit, but it still holds some relevance in what we do. Now, times have changed and it's no longer necessary for us to show up in tuxedos and bow ties to, play where, in these venues and stuff like that. But you still want to maintain a level of professional dress when you're playing. Don't just show up in anything, in any kind of clothes, looking in any kind of way. Clean yourself up. And I'm saying that these are the things that allow you to be in a position to negotiate more money and higher prices. And the next strategy is you never want to split the difference. Now, this is an idea that comes from a book by Chris Voss titled the same name, Never Split the Difference. And basically the idea behind this is not settling for less. So there's just going to be some situations that are maybe not negotiable. Some venues are just not going to be willing to pay more than what they're putting on the table, and that's okay. But what that means is you don't have to settle for less. You don't have to settle for what they're offering simply because this is the only offer that they're making. In today's world, we have thousands of opportunities to make money as musicians, and we're no longer at the mercy of some club just saying, hey, we're going to give you, in your 10-piece band, $100 to come play for us for 4 hours. We're not at the mercy of that stuff anymore. So you don't have to settle for less. You don't have to settle for accepting what it is that they give you just to be able to play. And not settling is probably going to mean that you're going to play less gigs. And that's okay. You don't want to be available for every gig and every person that calls you and offers you just some random offer and you show up to play. You don't want to be that available if you want to position yourself to be able to make more money as a musician. What you want to be doing instead is sort of creating these money-making opportunities for yourself and your band. You don't want to just, again, be available for everybody that calls you to play. So question of the day, what are some negotiation strategies and tactics that you use, in your band or, with your business or whatever that are effective in negotiating higher prices? Jump down in the comment section and let me know. I definitely want to hear about those. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.